Okay, so good morning once again, and I'm continuing the types of research. In previous lecture, we have studied about the descriptive research, and now I'm continuing with the analytical research. So, analytical terms again itself used for analyzing the things. So, it uses proving the facts to form the basis for research. Researchers frequently research to find supporting data that strengthen and authenticates their earlier findings. Also, it helps to develop the new concepts related to the research subject, and thus analytical research combines minute details to produce more tenable hypothesis, and analytical study thus explains why a claim is valid. So here we wanted to say that with the help of a data, we can proven that after doing the analysis, this comes as an outcome of our problem. There are the various ways to conduct this research, including the meta-analysis, literary or the scientific trials, and learning more about the public opinion. Moreover, the researcher carries out a critical evaluation of the material in this method, and this also often make use of a quantitative methods. Now, based on the research design, or we can say applications basis, that is the applied research. Action research that only studies one domain and usually generalizes the findings is called the applied research. The researcher regards the variables as a constant, and the researcher forecasts making the methods easy to find in a applied research. Here, applied research aims to solve current issues facing society or a business or the industry or any organization. Applied research is considered the non-systematic inquiry. Business, government body, or the individual typically conduct this research to address the particular issue. Means, example is the here, a study on how to improve the illiteracy in a teenagers. So what is that? It's a if we applied the solutions so that we can get the good results. A study looking for ways to market products for a millennials, or the study trying to decrease frauds on a social media platform. So it is all based on the applied basis. Now there is a difference between the fundamental and the applied research. By enhancing the fundamentals of a discipline, fundamental research seeks to do away with the theory, assumes that all other variables remain constant, and reports are written in the technical language used by the discipline. Whereas in applied, the goal of the applied research is to expand the scope of application for a discipline to address a problem. Now, changes while recognizing that other variables are constant, and reports are written in a standardized language. Now, fundamental research, formulating a theory and generalization. The primary concerns of fundamental research means its primary or the basic purpose is to generalize the things or formulate the theory. It seeks to discover facts with the various applications, supplementing the ideas already known in a specific field or industry. Several domains are connected, aiming to discover how one can change traditional things or develop something new. So one can find it out the summary in everyday language and apply logical findings in this. Here are the example and analysis of how different product placements in a store shelves affect the product sales. It is known to everyone, but it's a very fundamental or the generalized research. Now, conceptual versus empirical. So, conceptual research is defined as a methodology wherein a research is conducted by observing and analyzing already present information on a given topic, concept basis. Now, the conceptual research doesn't involve conducting any practical experiments, and it is related to abstract concepts or ideas. Now, philosophers have a long used conceptual research to develop new theories or interpret the existing one. The most famous example of conceptual research is Sir Isaac Newton. He observed his surroundings to conceptualize and develop theories about gravitation and motion. Now, what is basically the conceptual research? How it is work? First, need to identify or define the things. Then, need to decide a framework where the studies is going on. What are the advantages and what are the examples of it? Now, empirical work. Empirical research draws together the data based on experience or observation alone, often without due regard for system and theory. It is data-based research coming up with the conclusion which are capable of being verified by observation or experiment. It is also known as experimental research. For example, the pharmaceutical companies use empirical research to try out a specific drug on a controlled groups or a random groups to study the effect and cause. Or here is another example is a study is conducted to find it out whether listening to upbeat music while working enhances the creativity or not. So it is what? It is experience-based learning or experimental research where one can giving certain conditions and check it out what is the result. So empirical research is done in a certain way, the observation, then induction, deduction, testing, and evaluation. There is a difference between these two. The conceptual research is a type of research that is generally related to abstract ideas or concepts, whereas in empirical, where the conclusions of studies are drawn from evidence verifiable by the observation experience rather than pure logic or a theory. Now, it involves abstract idea and concepts, however, doesn't involve any practical experiment in a conceptual side, and it is totally dependent on our observation or the measurable things, or we can say experiment. Now, in a conceptual, philosophical research studies are the example, whereas in empirical includes both quantitative and the qualitative studies. On the basis of time dimension, it is the last one, that is the cross-sectional or longitudinal comes in this category. Cross-sectional study is used to collect data from a population simultaneously. It's a snapshot of a population at a particular moment rather than a study that tracks changes over a time. Here we are not going to track the changes, what kind of changes occur during particular duration. In this kind of a research, simultaneous data, the attitude, the behavior, the characteristics, the things, the observation has been done simultaneously, like a country's survey of the income and employment status of its citizen. In a longitudinal, we can extend it the period. Means it's over a period of time research has been done, used in a medical research where the certain things are doing, then observation done, experiment done. So it takes a long time. When using this method, longitudinal survey can pay off with actionable insights when you have the time to engage in a long-term research projects. So uses of longitudinal studies, it's a market trend, brand awareness, product launches, customer satisfaction, employee engagements, and the cohort studies. These all are the uses of longitudinal studies. It takes a long time to find it out the results. Example is a study conducted to understand similarities or differences between the identical twins who are brought up together versus the identical twins who are not. So it can be applied somewhere in a retail, education, healthcare, business, and psychology. Now, the significance of research is it contributes to the development of a new knowledge, supports decision-making and policy development, improves practices and processes, helps solve real-world problems, promotes economic growth and development, and enhances the quality of life. Certain scopes are there. We will continue the significance, scope, and limitation in next lecture. Till now, thank you and have a nice day. Hopefully, you will be able to understand the types of research which I have discussed in this part 1 and part 2. And thank you for patientfully listening. Have a nice day.